South African-born Megan Lewis, a performance studies scholar at the University of Massachusetts Amherst, refers to her native country as the most dramatic place on earth, and its rich cultural fabric serves as a focal point for her theater research.
Theater is the way in which we can think about who we are as human beings and why we are the way that we are, and imagine new possibilities, and speak truth to power, and question authority, and be in community with one another in our live bodies. Through the frameworks that we usually look at theater, we often ignore non-Western cultures. We often ignore or dismiss those things that we do not know or that seem unfamiliar to us. And so part of my research agenda too is to make sure that we are looking to places like Africa or other parts of the world, and really understanding how theater works there in ways that are different and unique to those places. That there isn't a piece of South African theater that isn't political, and I would argue that all theater is political. But I was really drawn to that, and so started my studies in earnest to look for performance in South Africa. And then discovered that I was very interested in the performance of national identity and race and gender, and as I've worked over the last 15 years of my career, have sort of moved towards really more and more focused analysis of the way in which white masculinity gets performed in South Africa, and particularly in the population of people known as the Afrikaners. And theater has always been, even under the apartheid regime, a space where people have pushed the boundaries, where despite laws that said that blacks and whites could not assemble together, theater spaces were still happening. There were people workshopping plays and putting on plays that were critical of the government as well, across color lines and across boundaries.
Lewis is studying the works of Magnet Theater, a South African performance group, and is working to generate educational opportunities for her students to study South African theater more intimately. She was recently able to arrange a one-week residency in which Magnet visited the Amherst campus and is framing a course that will take students to Johannesburg.
So I'm co-editing a volume on Magnet Theater and on 25 years of their theatrical labors in South Africa, during a time span where there was incredible seismic change in the culture, moving out of the apartheid regime through the transition in '94 and now into this new and very young democracy.